The USMNT are the 2021 Gold Cup champions. By surprising a lot of us, they actually went and defeated Mexico's B plus A team with our, you know, C team, if you want to call it that. Whatever you call it, doesn't matter. We defeated Mexico against all the odds, and we are now the champions of the Nations League and the Gold Cup. We are 2 for 2 so far against Mexico this year, and this is a great time to be an American soccer fan. So in this video, we're going to recap the USMNT's Gold Cup campaign this year, and then of course go over what players I think impressed me the most this Gold Cup, and what players did not impress me, at least, at all this Gold Cup. So without further ado, let's get to it, CONCACAF Kings. So starting off with a recap, we did a 6 straight win match campaign here for the Gold Cup, which is surprising. 6 straight wins. I did not think that was going to happen. 11 goals scored and only 1 goal against. Most of those goals, though, coming from the Martinique game where we did win 6-1. Even the goal against us was against Martinique, unfortunately, and how randomly, too. 6 straight wins, real quick. I think that was unpredicted and unprecedented by a lot of us USA soccer fans. At least from what I saw, a lot of us thought we were not, first of all, not going to win this tournament. Second of all, really struggle against big teams, maybe like Canada, Mexico especially. But we did it. We had 6 straight wins, only conceding 1 goal and scoring 11 goals. But that brings me to my other point of view here for the Gold Cup is the way we did win those 6 straight games. And none of the games, to me at least, were convincing. Until I'm sure to a lot of you guys as well, but none of the games seemed convincing. None of the games seemed like, yeah, we had this in the bag, or yeah, we're gonna win this easily. Besides the Martinique game, can't really count Martinique because we were expected to win and by big numbers against that team. Okay, with all due respect to them, but all the other games, like especially in the knockout stages against Jamaica, Qatar, even like we struggled a lot. It looked like we couldn't beat them. It looked like we could have lost in any second. And that's true. Against Canada as well, in the group stage, it looked like they could have gone either way. I think we were lucky. We scraped out a win. We really gave it all. And I think that's what's so important about this team that we had brought to the Gold Cup. Like you said, call it what you want. C team, B minus team, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The players performed well. The majority of the players performed well. They did their job, but they gave it their all. A lot of players, I liked what I saw. They really wanted to prove something that, you know what, we know, like they know they're being called the BC team, right? They know that, and they know that. So that really, I feel like that really affected them and drove them to really prove everyone wrong. Yeah, we're not just a C team that's going to lose. We're going to try and win. And when they did in the final, USA beating Mexico, like I said earlier, Mexico bringing a really strong team, much stronger team than we brought, and our boys really grinded. Like it was extra time. I was falling asleep. It was freaking late here in the East Coast, but damn, we grinded out that win last second of that extra time game. It was crazy. So, I feel like there is a lot of work to do still with certain players I'm going to mention later on in this video, in a couple seconds actually, but it could be a lot better. Okay. I'm not complaining saying that, finding loopholes or finding complaints about us winning the Gold Cup. No, dude, I love it. I'm living for them. I'm wearing a freaking scarf and it's freaking 90 degrees in this basement. I am excited for this future of all the squad, all the roster, every player in the pool we have for USA Soccer. Okay. Everyone here has a role to play, hopefully, for the US national team. And from what I saw for these players, for the most part, was really good. But for the most part, also, there was some bad we have to talk about, we have to criticize, which we'll get to, like I said, in a little bit. But first, speaking about players, let's talk about all the players that I think impressed me, and I'm sure some of you, the most. Starting off with number one, Matt Turner. Oh, man. Look, I am a Zach Steffen, what is connoisseur? Is that a word, connoisseur? I'm a Zach Steffen fan. Okay, I stand Zach Steffen. I say Zach Steffen is still the number 1 goalkeeper for the USA national team. And watching Matt Turner during this Gold Cup, especially the final against Mexico, where he made a handful of saves, like really good saves as well, it got me rethinking, like, who really is the number 1 or even the number 2 goalkeeper for the USA? A lot of people had Matt Turner as 3rd choice goalkeeper behind Steffen and Horvath. And I'm talking to you guys right now, I don't know, bro. Matt Turner really came into himself in the tournament, really proved the point, really showed what he got. I think this was his first major tournament with the USA, and he performed exceptionally well. Brad Guzan and Sean Johnson didn't see any playtime because Matt Turner was just that good. He stayed fit. He was healthy. He was making good saves. He was sharp. Dude, this guy is awesome. He could play out the back as well a little bit, which I saw a little bit too. dude, Matt Turner is really pushing the envelope for him being the starter for the USA national team. And if World Cup qualifiers happens tomorrow and Turner is in goal, dude, I'm not complaining. The next player I want to talk about, another MLS player. If you're an MLS hater, you're gonna hate this video because a lot of MLS players really impressed me so far. So speaking of MLS players, let's go to KELLYN ACOSTA, who a lot of us, we saw a couple of games of him before this tournament with USA's national team. But he was okay. We say he comes in, does his job, he's solid, whatever. And that's what he came in here to do. He was solid. I think he, for the most part, played consistently well in his Gold Cup. He had a good campaign. The final, especially against Mexico, it really impressed him, really put him on this list for me as impressive players at the Gold Cup. I was so surprised. I was like, dude, this guy is literally giving his blood and sweat for the USA to win this. Like, he wanted mostly I think he wanted this more than anybody else on the team. He was throwing his body everywhere. He was making tackles, making great passes, intercepting balls. Like, he was doing really, really well. And I was like, you know what, KELLYN ACOSTA? If Greg Berhalter were to put you on the World Cup qualifiers, if we needed someone to fill in a gap somewhere, yeah, KELLYN ACOSTA, sure, why not? I would not be upset if he puts in performance against Mexico. If he puts in performance that he did against Mexico in every single game or the majority of games in World Cup qualifiers, we're good, man. We're good. The third player that impressed me in this Gold Cup was the game winner, the trophy winner himself, Miles Robinson, Atlanta United center back. He, for the most part, a lot of us really hyped him up, and we know that he's a good player. But coming into this tournament, I was like, you know what? I want to see what he's made of. I don't really watch too much Atlanta United games, so I can't really say that, yeah, he's a good player. I'm just, going along with all the other hype that people are saying. I've seen some performances, but not really a lot. Coming into this tournament, I was like, let's see what he can offer us. He offered us, he's definitely in the not the starting 11, I would say, but he's definitely one of the big contenders to, I would say, Chris Richards, Mark McKenzie, Aaron Long, who all want to be the partner to John Brooks. Miles Robinson scoring 2 goals in his Gold Cup, really doing well. Defensively was pretty good for the most part. Against Mexico, I think he was also really good. Against Qatar, he was okay. But overall, in the Gold Cup, he was the main center back we had. Of course, especially after Walker Zimmerman losing him through injury, he had to sub up even bigger, play that leader role in the back, and I think he did that perfectly. He was impressive. Okay, let's go ahead and get this guy out of the way because I know having him on here is not going to be cool for a lot of you guys. But you know what? It's my channel, it's my video. I don't care. This is what I notice and what I feel for this dude. Let's talk about Gyasi Zardes, okay? He impressed me. I'm not going to say he's our best striker right now, but I'm not going to say he's our worst striker either. We're going to talk about another striker later on in the list somewhere in this video. But Gyasi Zardes, I think, was our best striker in this tournament. I think I felt more comfortable having him up there than other strikers we had at our disposal in that number 9 role. I think his hold-up play got him better, especially against Mexico. He was playing well. Okay, I know he missed that goal, but was he offside? Was he not offside? I don't know. But either way, he should have scored it. Yes, I'm not going to shy away from criticism, but he still has his blunders. But in this Gold Cup, in this little circle of the Gold Cup this summer, I think he was really good. Not really good. I think he was good. Good enough to be on my impressive list. Good enough to impress me, especially comparing him to another striker we have here, which I said we'll talk about it later. I was like, wow, he actually is the better striker, and that's impressive. Speaking of strikers, but not really. He was playing more as the left winger. Let's talk about Matthew Hoppe. Now, look, if you've been watching videos from my channel for a while, or at least recently, you know that Matthew Hoppe is a guy that I really did not rate too highly. I was like, dude, I don't know what the hype about Matthew Hoppe is. He comes on for Schalke, scores a couple goals in a row, and then he kind of fades away and gets relegated with Schalke, and people are like going crazy over him, saying he should start over Zardes, start over DK, start over Sargent, whoever. And I don't see it. But seeing the way he played, seeing his mentality was the most impressive thing, I think I would say. Pitting him against kind of a Clint Dempsey kind of player, getting in people's faces, picking a fight with anybody he wants to, trying his best to do. He was giving it all. He was subbed off, I think, in Qatar. He was pissed off about it. I was like, dude, I like that. I like when he's angry. I like when he's like, you know what? I want to be on the field. This semifinal, I want to play. I like that drive and fire he has in his eyes. You can see in his eyes, he's got that fire. And the whole game against Mexico and Qatar, he had that fire. He had like that drive to really do more and just try to do anything he can to get a goal or just get a win for the USA. And I like that. Matthew Hoppe, owe you an apology, bro, because you really did impress me. Now I see what other people see in you. and I'm impressed. Two more guys to go. First one, SHAQ Moore. Great Gold Cup group stage. He was brought on because Reggie Cannon did have a slight injury. He was out for a little bit. SHAQ Moore came on. I think impressed me. I think impressed a lot of us. Playing in La Liga second division, getting a link move to a La Liga first division team looks likely. I think, especially after this tournament, it's gonna be money, man. It's gonna happen. Hopefully for him, because I want to see him play on the big stage. I think he deserves it. He's a great player. He's quick. He's skillful on the ball. He knows how to shoot. He scored a freaking goal. Like, this guy, I think, is really adding to that ever-growing right back pool list that we have for the USA. And last but certainly not least, the person who really impressed me, and that of course is Gregg Berhalter. Yes, Gregg Berhalter. I think a lot of us have to almost slight apology for doubting his abilities in this Gold Cup, but for the most part, like I said, the USA was playing shaky. I feel like they weren't playing at the full potential that they could. They were kind of iffy there, here and there, but for the most part, Gregg Berhalter came in here. He knew the team he had. He won the Gold Cup against Mexico with the team he had. Just think about that. He adjusted his tactics, especially against Mexico in the second half, to really find a way to win and break up the play, break up the dominance Mexico had. It didn't work the whole second half or whole extra time halves, but for the most part, it did work. I'd like to see him change. What I like most and what impressed me most about Gregg Berhalter is that he really he tried to put better other players in the lineup. He didn't stick to Zardes. He didn't stick to just having all these MLS guys in there the whole time, Christian Roldan, whatever you want to call it. But he did not try to just stick to one lineup and see how it goes and just adjust it as you go. He really experimented a lot, playing almost every player got playing time except the two backup goalkeepers. Every player got playing time here. Every player got rotated around. Every player really had a role to play in this Gold Cup. And I think Gregg Berhalter is the guy who was in charge of that and who takes credit for that. So, Gregg Berhalter, proud of you, bro. So now let's talk about players that I think did not impress at all. And number one, of course, especially hot off the final, Paul ARRIOLA. Yes, I know he was injured in the first game. He was out most of the tournament. But when he did come back, especially the game, like I said, against Mexico, he has a lot of criticism. And I feel like that criticism kind of morphed and formed in this final. And he became that criticism. He was bad, man. I like Paul ARRIOla as a dude. He's a cool dude. I know he's good for DC United, but I don't know, dude. He was not good. Passing was terrible. Dribbling, he could not complete a dribble. Shooting, that miss, man. That miss in the first half. We could have been 1-0 in the first half going into halftime. He missed that. You know who scores that? Jordan Morris. Just saying. For all you Jordan Morris haters, Jordan Morris scores that. Paul ARRIOla, dude, love you, bro, but you were awful, bro. You were awful. Next up, let's go to another one that's going to give me a lot of hate, probably, but it really shouldn't, because look at yourself in the mirror and tell me that he was playing good this whole tournament. Daryl DK. Okay, Daryl DK, I would say unimpressed me. I know he scored 2 goals, and you would say, yeah, Zardes scored 2 goals too, Drew. Yeah, Zardes scored 2 goals, and Daryl DK can only score 2 goals as well. If you want to put Daryl DK over Zardes, you want to put him over Matthew Hoppe even, or whatever, I'd be the number 2 backup striker to Josh Sargent, which I think is still my number 1 striker. Then Daryl DK needed to come in here and prove that and really cement that. Yeah, I'm the second best striker, if not the best striker. I'm pressing Josh Sargent as starter striker for the USMNT. Okay, now I'm not gonna go ahead and say like Lexi Lala said, saying that Zardes should be our main striker. No, I still think Josh Sargent is. I still think Daryl DK could make a case for himself later on, but it's gonna be hard. This tournament, he did not impress me at all, and I know he didn't impress a lot of you guys. His hold-up play was terrible. He was freaking manhandled against a couple teams. He was like non-existent sometimes for some games, and I was like, dude, Daryl DK is this guy where we call him the tank. He was gonna run through all these teams and destroy CONCACAF, and he didn't. He got CONCACAF, and I was like, dude, come on, Daryl DK. So any player that is not on here on either list was just like a neutral feeling, like Leggett or Reggie Cannon, Henry Kessler. I would say didn't get much playing time. You can't put him on here. Sam Vine, George Bella. They were nothing too crazy, but nothing too good either. They were just neutral to me. But the last player I have here as being unimpressive, and again, a lot of hate coming, but you know what? I don't care. Gianluca Buzio. I felt as though the transfer rumors grew, his game started to like deteriorate. He came on in the first game, whatever, his first game. He was like, all right, it's spiceful. As he came on as a sub, he sparked it up a bit. Second game he came on, he actually started, and he was unimpressive. I was like, dude, like, I mean, he was okay. He wasn't too bad. He was just okay. But I expected him to come in here and be one of the star man, if not the star man, in the midfield. And especially when the transfer rumors are going bigger and bigger, him going to Venezia, whatever the fuck he was going to, it still like didn't affect the way he played. Like he still was like, meh. He was okay. He wasn't too bad. He wasn't too good, but he was unimpressive. I was not impressed at all by Gianluca Buzzi. He seemed too weak in the midfield. On defense, I know in one game he did try to be more physical and like aggressive on the defense, but he was just getting knocked around by some players. Okay, like he was like playing to 6 at some point, and it's just like he can't play that role, you know. And I just was, I don't know, unimpressed. So that is my Gold Cup recap for you guys. Here's my Twitter real quick. If you guys want to follow me there, that is the best place to follow me. I do have Instagram, but I don't really post there too much. I'm more of a Twitter whore myself. So try me out on Twitter there. Yeah, that is my video for you guys. Hope you guys liked it. I want to know who you think, or who impressed you the most, and who really disappointed you the most in this Gold Cup. Let me know down below. I'm really curious to see what you guys think, if you guys have the same kind of names that I do on my list, either list. So, of course, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for kicking it with me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.